And as things are getting worse right now and we're going into such a tricky season with people being indoors more, I'm just even more like, okay, if I can be a part of the solution here, let's do this.
Tonight on Idaho News 6, meet one of the drug trial volunteers who helped make COVID-19 vaccines possible. Plus, as hospitals near capacity, an influx of patients and calls has healthcare providers struggling to keep up. How teams are working to slow the spread of the virus. And later in the newscast.
Oh yeah, ribs, Goodwood is where I'll be going.
A local vet looks forward to celebrating after receiving a free smile makeover for Veterans Day.
On air, online, on mobile. This is Idaho News 6.
Thanks for joining us tonight on this Veterans Day. I'm Don Nelson. Our top story at 10, yet another record for rapidly rising COVID cases in Idaho. 18 new deaths make for 47 deaths total in just the last 3 days. According to data tracking by our news partners at the Idaho Statesman, Idaho counted 1,250 confirmed new cases with 368 probables for a combined record of 1,618 cases. It's the latest in 2 weeks of near daily records. Idaho's 7-day rolling case average started the month at 824 cases, but it has now reached 1,249. Those rising cases, as well as looming winter weather and the holiday season, have health leaders stressing the importance of slowing the spread of the virus. Simple things like washing your hands, wearing a mask, and social distancing can make a huge difference. And recent news of a possible COVID-19 vaccine, very welcome news. The drug trials that get those vaccines approved rely on volunteers who sign up to be basically guinea pigs. Our Roland Bears spoke to a local woman about what it's like to put your health on the line for the greater good.
Any story about vaccines really needs to begin with one undeniable fact.
The news of the vaccine should not get people to say that we don't need to continue to do the public health measures.
Eventually, a vaccine or several vaccines will arrive thanks to people like Kylie, who asked us to use just her first name.
And I saw the little ad come up that they needed volunteers. And for me, it was a total instinct thing. My gut just said, do it.
Kylie saw that ad for AstraZeneca on Facebook last summer. After reading 35 pages of trial information and undergoing health exams, she says the process was completely upfront.
I have a trust in science, so to me, it didn't scare me the way I think it scares some people.
She says the first meeting took 3.5 hours. She had a full exam and 2 COVID tests before taking part. But she and a fellow participant never knew if they actually got the vaccine.
So we're comparing all the time. Like, does your arm still hurt? Mine does, stuff like that, which of course it doesn't even matter.
Someday she could find out if she got the vaccine if she wants. She says 80% of her friends call her brave. The other 20 say she's crazy. But Kylie says she just couldn't do nothing.
And as things are getting worse right now and we're going into such a tricky season with people being indoors more, I'm just even more like, okay, if I can be a part of the solution here, let's do this, The
U.S. has agreed to buy 300 million doses of AstraZeneca's vaccine for $1.2 billion. Its effectiveness has not yet been determined. Roland Barris, Idaho News 6.
Hospital capacity, a growing concern as cases rise. As of Monday, a record 361 hospitalizations across the state, with 94 patients in intensive care. St. Luke's Magic Valley is inundated with COVID-19 patients, 75 as of this morning. The hospital was forced to divert ICU patients temporarily Tuesday night, and they've had to say no to requests from Elko, Nevada's hospital to take in patients from northern Nevada. As we've reported, for the past 2 weekends, St. Luke's has had a 12-hour window where they were forced to stop taking new patients and send them instead to other hospitals. Officials say hospitals here in the Treasure Valley are taking transfers and working to support the Magic Valley, but our local hospitals are nearing capacity as well. Even clinics are feeling the strain. The CEO of Primary Health Medical Group says his company's 20 clinics in our area are struggling to keep up with phone calls from would-be patients. Dr. David Peterman says call volumes have surged from a normal 1,800 calls a day to 3,000. This as the clinics grapple with dozens of staffers out sick. Peterman says he's concerned the missed calls means patients are not able to get the health care and their healthcare questions answered. It's not just a spike in incoming calls, but also outgoing ones. Health experts are working to log each Idaho COVID-19 case and do contact tracing, notifying anyone who might have been exposed. As we've reported, with cases surging in southern Idaho, they've struggled to keep up, saying it's just not possible right now to notify everyone. Our Stephanie Garibay looks at the effort to beef up staffing and what disease investigative teams are doing.
In order to keep up with the rise in COVID-19 cases, the South Central Public Health District will have to triple the number of staff on its disease investigative team. But they say it's not easy since people on the investigative team must have some type of medical background.
But many of our investigators that we're reaching out to have some kind of specific experience that qualifies for them for the job, but may not actually have a nursing degree. I don't believe we have anybody on staff that does investigations who is a doctor.
Disease investigators are usually able to complete 300 cases a week, but with more than 1,000 local cases being reported a week, it's nearly impossible to keep up. One investigator says even working 7 days a week wouldn't be enough, and the team is facing obstacles with the amount of hours applicants are able to commit each week.
A lot of the people that have reached out to us are offering only a couple of hours because they really want to help out, not because they really have time to take on another part-time job or full-time job. So that's been one of the unusual obstacles that we're facing. And that desire to help the community is so wonderful, but we do have to, as I mentioned, have enough commitment to make the training and the infrastructure space that we're providing worthwhile as well.
Investigators are in charge of not only contact tracing, but also identifying any trends within the pandemic.
Just having a number is not very helpful. Knowing what communities those are spreading into or what particular demographics that it's hitting harder than others gives us an opportunity to reach out and slow that disease down by targeting those people or helping those particular people get information.
In Twin Falls, I'm Stephanie Garibay, Idaho News 6.
Testing, another critical tool in Idaho's fight against COVID-19. As we reported, Northwest Nazarene University has issued a 1-week stay-in-place order in response to an uptick in cases on campus and in the community. We know that people infected with COVID-19 can transmit the virus even if they don't show symptoms. It was weekly saliva testing of those symptomatic students that made early detection of a jump in cases at NNU possible.
We're really proud of that system. It's helping us identify really early on when infections are occurring. So we noticed a trend started to develop last week. We weren't absolutely confident that was a trend because our numbers went down towards the end of the week. But on Monday and Tuesday, our numbers in that asymptomatic testing flagged that, hey, we think we have some movement here and we need to pay attention to it.
All learning will happen remotely for the next 7 days. Students and staff are asked to limit their activities and stay in their residences except to exercise and get food. And the weekly saliva testing regimen will be increased to daily testing.
Hopefully, we can dodge the bullet here and get our infection rates down. Now our systems, aren't overwhelmed, but we want to make sure they don't get close to that.
The program helps keep students safe while giving them hands-on real-world training. Dr. Kurtshaw says the university stay-in-place order is part of a larger commitment to the community and keeping high-risk staff, employees, and Napa residents healthy. We're almost 8 months into the pandemic, and many folks are feeling fatigued, anxious, lonely, even depressed. St. Luke's is studying how COVID affects Idahoans' mental health.
CDC research has shown that about 40% of Americans are struggling with some form of mental distress during the COVID-19 era. But what we don't know is how people in Idaho specifically are doing.
The study looks at different impacts like financial hardship, schooling challenges, isolation, and the pandemic's emotional toll. And it looks at different groups, including adults, adolescents, and healthcare workers, many of whom have been overextended for months.
Healthcare workers are at double the risk of dealing with suicidal ideation.
As researchers study the long-term effects of COVID on the body, they say mental health is another aspect. They'll use what they learn to improve intervention and treatment.
We are testing 2 different versions of a caring contacts intervention. And what that involves is sending a series of text messages to someone to let them know that they're thought about and cared for.
St. Luke's Behavioral Health and Applied Research Division was awarded $450,000 to conduct the work. Edwards says there's minimal research on this and none focuses on rural areas like Idaho until now. If you or someone you know is struggling, there is help. Call the Idaho Suicide Prevention Hotline number on your screen. Today is Veterans Day, a special time to honor military members and their families and, of course, for their service and sacrifice for our country. Governor Brad Little and key leaders of Idaho's military gathered on the steps of the State House today to offer thanks of their own to the American Red Cross of Greater Idaho.
Throughout all of my deployments, both in the Middle East and in Bosnia, the Red Cross was always there, supporting our men and women of the military, providing care packages, life support, and connecting soldiers with their families in times of need.
Last year, Idaho Red Cross provided comfort and support to more than 1,000 military families. In Meridian, a Veterans Day ceremony at the Rock of Honor Veterans Memorial at Kleiner Park. American Legion Post 113, VFW Post 4000 hosted with a speech 3 volley gun salute and taps. Also in Meridian, the Chamber of Commerce streamed a virtual ribbon cutting at Advanced Automotive Center this afternoon. The business is veteran owned and features a 40-foot-long mural dedicated to our troops.
And what we've done over the past years is we've had veterans come and sign the mural for us and just kind of put their name on it so that we can show the community all the veterans that we have in our area.
Our own Steve Dent among those who signed. Coming up, with recent snow and cold weather, Bogus Basin could be looking at its earliest opening date in a quarter century.
Yes, the snow has been flying in the mountains. I'll show you how much snow fell at Bogus Basin and other resorts last night, plus what's to come in the following nights, plus what's happening in the valley, all coming up next.
This is Idaho News 6.
A patch of favorable weather could allow Bogus Basin to open even earlier than planned, possibly as soon as next week. If that happens, it'll be the earliest opening for the resort since the mid-1990s. Scott and I were talking about this the other night. Recent snowstorms have helped, and cooler temperatures will allow the resort to make and maintain a base with its snow-making machines. Bogus has gotten about 20 inches of snow in the last couple of days. As we reported, they already opened their hike park, and they had originally planned to open the hill the day after Thanksgiving. Well, we'll have to wait and see.
Meteorologist Scott Dorval with the Idaho News 6 forecast.
Yes, and the views on Bogus Basin look a lot different than what you saw right there. That almost looked like spring skiing. As you get that snow, they just kind of put it all together. But now there's snow covering the entire mountain. Not enough to ski the entire mountain, but they are making snow as well. At least they have been, and they will likely again tonight, although I haven't seen the guns turned on just yet. Let's take a look at a time-lapse view of Bogus Basin. The snow was really coming down last night. I mean, it was coming down as we were sleeping last night. 11 inches of snow. That's why they've had 20 inches on the season. You saw the blue skies briefly today. They've been moving some snow around this evening. It looks like they're getting ready to turn the snow guns on. I can see the way the lights are set up here. Temperature's now at 25. I don't see snow blowing right now, but I think it's about to happen soon, and they'll be blowing snow overnight tonight into the day tomorrow as well, which is just great. And then look at Friday's forecast. Heavy snow. I've got 12 to 16 inches there. Now, the storm system in the new computer charts, not quite as much moisture as before. It tends to change through time. And so we're going to keep an eye on this. I'll update you again tomorrow, that last update before the snow comes in on Friday. But at least a foot of snow, and 12 to 16 is probably a pretty decent number. It had 11 inches, and this will be a heavier, wetter snow than the snow that fell last night. A higher moisture content is better. Look at the wind chill temperatures right now. It feels like 17 in Cascade, 4 in Ketchum, 16 in Twin Falls, 30 in Boise because we don't have much of a breeze. But we will have one tomorrow morning, and that is going to make it feel on the chilly side indeed. good half a foot of snow falling at Brundage Mountain as well last night. Tamarack Resort getting the snow as well. Everybody's got snow. It's a year that I don't remember in a long time. Yeah, I guess it's been the mid-90s since we've seen snow this early on. And even at this point, boy, I'll tell you, it just seems different. Winter storm watches for the entire Central Mountains, 2 to 12 inches below 6,000 feet. I'm thinking in the McCall area, 10 to 12 inches of snow, and most of it falling on Friday and into Friday night. It's going to be difficult travel, so just keep that in mind. If you're from Valley County, sure, you're used to it. You can handle it. But anybody else coming up from the valley, especially if you haven't driven in snow before, you might not want to go up. I would highly not recommend that on Friday. 1 to 2 feet potentially above 6,000 feet. So it's a big amounts because of the jet stream blasting straight into the mountains. The west-facing ridge tops could really get hit hard with snow. Here's the latest Futurecast showing a good chunk of snow coming in here for Friday into Saturday. You see the purple? That's more than a foot in all those locations. Cascade probably, well, you could still get 14 inches of snow. I think it'll be a little bit less than that. And there'll be even more snow potentially coming in on Sunday night into Monday. For the valley, I think it's going to be rain, maybe a little more than what we're seeing right here. Maybe a quarter to a third of an inch. We'll keep an eye on that. But the mountains are going to get the lion's share of this storm system. Heavy snow in McCall, 6 to 8 inches during the day on Friday, and Friday night into Saturday morning, another 3 to 5 inches possible. That is 8 to 9 to 13 inches of snow, and even more snow could come in later on Sunday night as well, although it may turn to rain in McCall. That's something I'll watch as well as snow levels begin to rise. Just rain in the valley, but not tomorrow. Sunshine tomorrow. A biting cold wind chill tomorrow morning. That I want to stress to everybody. It will feel like it's in the teens until midday tomorrow. Then we hit 43 with some sunshine. The clouds come in. Any snow would turn quickly to rain. This will be a rain event for the valley. And even on Sunday, some snow showers in the morning would turn to rain showers. But all the way through Sunday night into Monday, Don, the Central Mountains are not going to be the easiest place to be traveling, as this is going to be midwinter going on with a blanket of nearly a foot of snow at Long Valley. Take your time. All right. Thanks, Scott. Still to come on Idaho News 6.
Well, thank you very, very much. I can't thank you enough.
A life-changing gift for 2 Idaho veterans on Veterans Day.
This is Idaho News 6.
Simple smile can really brighten someone's day, and 2 Idaho veterans are about to smile a whole lot wider. Our Nicole Camarda has more on their surprise free smile makeovers.
That we were going to treat both of them.
Terry Todd and Philip Nielsen have more in common than both being veterans. They both need oral surgery to help them regain confidence. This procedure can cost over $50,000, but Whitewater Oral Surgery is giving them a brand new smile free of charge.
Well, thank you very, very much. I can't thank you enough.
I'm just thrilled that we're able to help Terry and Philip out. They're great, and they represent what's great about this country.
I am just so thankful. I'm very thankful.
Air Force veteran Terry Todd is missing 25 teeth. She has an extremely narrow palate, making it tough for her false teeth to stay in right unless she uses paste.
And that's very hard to do every day and to remove it every day.
We clear the mouth of all the bad and damaged teeth, and then we level the bone to make a solid foundation. Put the implants in through a series of guides and drill sequences.
Dr. Nelson says it's because of them that they were able to offer a service like this for those who need it.
All of our freedoms to go to school, to learn and to educate, and that's what they did. And so, wow, this is the least we can do.
And once the procedure is done, Philip and Terry are free to enjoy any food they want.
I heard you talking about ribs. Is that going to be?
Oh yeah, ribs. Goodwood is where I'll be going. He said I could wait 3 months and then go to Goodwood. So, and it's been 3 years, so I'm anxious to go to Goodwood and have ribs.
Nicole Camarda, Idaho News 6.
Sounds like a plan. If you are a veteran or know a veteran who needs dental care, Delta Dental wants to help with free dental screening, fluoride varnish, and sealants. Visit idahonews6.com if you would like more information. Keep smiling. Coming up, a popular workshop for teachers is also going virtual this year due to the pandemic. We're wild about turkeys in tonight's Idaho Back Roads.
This is Idaho News 6.
Learning about the outdoors goes virtual. Our outdoor reporter Natasha Williams shares how Project Wild is evolving in tonight's Idaho Backroads.
Project Wild is geared toward helping educators learn how to incorporate lessons about wildlife and ecology into their classrooms.
It was created by teachers who said, we need to make learning fun and get kids excited about learning by integrating animals into the curriculum.
The workshops feature activities teachers can incorporate into their curriculum to help kids learn about wildlife. One encourages the kids to learn by becoming the wildlife.
They actually are salmon and they run from predators and they, have all the limiting factors that a live salmon would face. And so they get to put themselves in their shoes, so to speak.
But this year, organizers of the popular workshops had to get creative. This fall's workshop, Wild About Turkeys, will be completely digital, just in time for Thanksgiving.
There's so much to teach about turkeys, and I know teachers are always looking for things like this in November.
The virtual workshop has all kinds of different modules for teachers to explore.
You don't have to go through every module, but if there's modules that work for a high school teacher or whatever, that's the ones that they could zone in on.
The workshop costs $20, which covers the costs of the kit of materials they send you. You can complete the modules at your own pace, and it's entirely online. But it's not just for teachers. It's a great resource for homeschooling or even just for fun Thanksgiving activities.
If you want to learn about turkeys and it's the season, sit down and during Thanksgiving and talk about turkeys.
In Twin Falls, Natasha Williams, Idaho News 6.
Here's a live look from our camera atop the Grove Hotel. Scott's back right after this. For our last look at weather, let's check back in with Scott Dorval.
Don, the calm before the storm. It won't be a huge storm for the Treasure Valley, but it's going to be a huge storm for the Central Mountains. Let's take a look at what we have for the valley tomorrow. In the morning, wind chill factor will make it feel like the teens till noon. The sun will be out much of the day, but we have rain likely coming in on Friday with heavy snow in the mountains. Don't forget to check for updates tomorrow. Thanks for joining us.
Watch Idaho News 6 on your favorite streaming device. Fortunes of Idaho News 6 are brought to you by Steve's Hometown Toyota and Optum Idaho.